G'day everyone, it's Curtis here. Welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today I'm going to talk about my first impressions for the Motoz Dualventure front and the Motoz RallZ rear adventure tyres. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. It really helps grow the channel and you're supporting an independent motorcycle reviewer in me. Alright, let's check out the Motoz tyres. So as mentioned, on the front I have the Motoz Dualventure tube type in the 1990-21. Now Motoz say they are a 70-30 off-road tyre, as in they are 70% biased towards off-road. The tube type is actually slightly more aggressive, and I'd say it's 80-20. How does it differ from the tubeless? It's slightly smaller, it's 9mm smaller, it has slightly deeper tread as well, and the knobs are smaller. It's also a more lightly constructed tyre. You know, it's meant to have a tube in it. You can also run the tubeless on the front, but you know, I thought I would go with the tube type because I'm coming from the Pirelli Scorpion Rally, which is a really aggressive front tyre, so I didn't want to jump too much back into road type stuff. Now on the rear, I'm running the Motoz RallZ 150/70/17 tubeless. Motoz say that is a 80-20 tyre, and I think that's pretty spot on. It's a very aggressive off-road tyre. Something also worth mentioning is the V-Strom needs tubes, so I'm also running a tube in the back. So if I get a puncture of that, man, I'll be annoyed. That stiff carcass tubeless tyre and a tube, man, I'll be dirty. So why did I choose the Motoz Dualventure front and RallZ rear? Well, I was previously running the Pirelli Rally Scorpion Race on the front and the Pirelli Rally Scorpion on the rear. Now, the race front is one of the best off-road tyres you'll be used. It is absolutely fantastic, but it's a little bit too aggressive for the style of riding I've been doing. So I like to play hard off-road, but I'm also commuting to and from work. You know, this is my everyday bike too, so there's not really a tyre that does it all. But the front, the Dualventure, looks like it's pretty spot on for what I want. The Scorpion Rally front, it scalloped pretty hard. I still got 5,000 Ks out of it, 5,500 even, and it was still performing great, but it was at its end, it was severely scalloped. These are reversible and they should give me more mileage as well. The Scorpion Rallies, they're like a 95% off-road tyre, maybe even 100. They are DOT approved, but they are just a pure off-road tyre that just happens to work okay on the road, whereas these a little bit pegged back. So I'm hoping to just get that little bit more road performance. Now on the rear, I've used the RallZ in the past and really liked it. Tons of friends and people I ride with also use them. They are just a really good off-road adventure tyre. I know what I'm getting from that. I should get a bit more longevity out of it. I think the tread is, let me look, 15mm of depth, like massive chunks on the back. Price-wise, these were $480 for the pair. If you buy them separately, you don't get the discount, and I think it's about $180 for the front and $320 for the rear, depending on what size you get. So pretty competitive pricing. My Pirellis were $470 for the pair, so much for muchness really. So I've done one really good adventure ride on these tyres. It was about 350 kilometers. It was a mix of absolutely everything. Went over Mount Glorious here, which is kind of sports bike twisties on the open highway, fast speed sections, flowy stuff, then a lot of dirt. We did gravel roads, dirt roads, fire trails, single track, rocky sections, shale, sand, everything bar mud. It was actually quite dry where we were. I wasn't expecting it. There were some damp sections. You're right there, cockatoo, goodness. There were some damp sections, so I will do some proper mud impressions in my long-term review. I've also done some commuting on these as well. We'll start with the front tyre and the Dualventure. I am extremely impressed with it. On the road, it was quiet, it felt sturdy. In the corners, it was good. I don't push hard in the corners, especially on new tyres, but I wasn't hanging about, handled them great. Off-road, absolutely faultless so far. I didn't have any sketchy moments and they just dug in. So I'm very happy with how they've performed in a variety of conditions. I even had to do an emergency stop the other day coming home from work. I wasn't paying attention. I was actually looking at a bike. I was like, what kind of bike is that? I didn't know the color scheme. Look up, boom, had to lock it up completely. Pulled me up great, like really good. It was dry, but man, it pulled me up. Fantastic. So extremely happy with the front so far. I was a bit worried about the tube type front, being that it's a bit softer, not going to last as long as the tubeless. I believe that's 3-ply instead of 4. I will confirm, put that up above. Man, it's going really well and haven't really noticed any wear so far. I mean, it's so early on, it's hard to say, but the good thing about these is also you can flip them around. So when it does start to scallop a bit, if it does, flip them around, then it'll get some more even wear. Now the rear tyre, I'll start off by saying this, it's noisy. Coming from a more road biased tyre, this sounds like a mud terrain tyre, like on a 4B. It is loud and kind of whines, you know, like whoa, 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 whoa. And as the speed increases, it gets noisier. I will say this though, after commuting to and from work a few times, I don't notice it anymore. It's just that initial noise after coming from a more road style, you know, 50-50 tyre, which is very quiet. It's noticeable. It's not terrible, but it's definitely noticeable, especially as your speed increases. Off-road performance, very good, like extremely good in a variety of conditions. These things just hook up. I will say in the rocky stuff, my Pirelli was really good. It's kind of a softer carcass tyre and it would just grip and it's a bit more malleable and hook up on the rocks and stuff. This, a really stiff carcass tyre, a tough tyre, hard to get punctures on, doesn't, you know, flex as much, and how they compensate it is with the bigger knobs and deeper tread on that. That's how they compensated on it. So it still hooks up. I mean, look at this hill climb I did, I'll put it up on the screen. Got up there, no worries at all, and that was bloody hard work on a big bike. And we did a fair few similar style hill climbs in similar terrain as that, no issues at all. In the leafy stuff, fine, sandy stuff, good. It's just a really good off-road tyre. On-road, as I said, a little bit noisy, but performs well. I mean, the two of these tyres and the flowing kind of corners, they perform great. Sure, I'm not riding it like a sports bike. It's not a sports bike. It's a big 230 kilo adventure bike. So I'm kind of rolling through and being smooth, but they perform well. So overall, extremely happy with the front. The rear, very happy, just a little bit noisy. Now, I have had the chance to ride in some wet conditions, commuting to and from work. We've had some bad storms. Now, on the way home, a little bit skatey, I would say, is my initial thoughts. It's too early to say though, like it was only patchy kind of wet conditions. Some bits would be wet, some bits were dry. So I'll put that in a long-term review, my proper thoughts on its wet weather performance and also mud performance. Now I've probably lost about a mil, I believe is on the rear so far, and that's 500 kilometers. So I think that's pretty well spot on with what Mal Dalton said. He got the same. So we'll see how much they wear and how the retains performance. That's probably the bigger thing. You can wear it down, but you want to retain that performance as well. All right, everyone, that's it from me. If you haven't, click that subscribe button. It really helps me, an independent motorcycle reviewer who gives real world reviews and really puts things through their paces. All right, keep it on the back wheel, everyone. Catches.